Hi and welcome to Empower Me. My name is Yvonne and our topic for today is getting rid of toxic words. Our words are very important. They can either make us or they can break us. And so it's so important to understand the power behind that. I love this quote, the tongue has no bones, but is strong enough to break a heart. So be careful with what you say. Sometimes you can talk to someone and they could say, well, you really hurt me by what you just said. And you could stand back and think, hang on a second, I didn't hit you. I didn't physically touch you. How did I hurt you? Well, the reality is the things that you say, they hurt. Science is showing us that when we speak negative words to someone and we hurt their feelings, it affects the same area in the brain as a broken bone. And this is huge. That's why it is so important to pay attention to what we say. The power of life and death are in the tongue. We can build someone by what we say. We can encourage them to do their best, or we can literally kill them, making them think, well, I'm a failure. We have that all the time. People that fail, well, why have they failed? Because as they were growing up, they heard from their parents that they will never mount to anything, that they're very stupid, that they're very slow. And what happens is all this becomes concrete in our thinking. We believe it, we receive it, we live it, and as a result, we begin to fail. I love the story of Thomas Edison. As he was a young boy at school, he misbehaved, and his teacher wrote a letter and said to him, do not open this letter and give this letter straight to your mother. Well, the teacher wrote how bad this boy is and how stupid this child is. She does not want him back at school, and she asked the mother to keep her child at home. Well, he took the letter and he gave it to his mother. The mother opened the letter and read it in her mind. And the young boy said to her mom, what's in the letter? And she said to him, oh, the teachers are saying that you're so smart, that you are incredibly intelligent, that they cannot find a good enough teacher to teach you at school. And so they've asked me to teach you at home. The result is this young man became a genius. Why? Because of the power of words. Had his mother told him the real words that were written in that letter, he could have been damaged for life. And so I really wonder, what sort of words are you speaking? What sort of words have been spoken over you? And we need to come to this place of breaking those negative words because they're extremely toxic. I was counseling a young mother and I was telling her about her son, and she was saying to me, my son is hell. He's been expelled from many schools. I don't even know what to do. He's home now and he's a really tough boy. I don't know what to do. And I just said to her, well, tell me a little bit more about your son. Tell me about the words that were spoken over this young boy when he was born. And it got her thinking to the level that she was quiet and then said to me, well, let me tell you the first word that was ever said about him. When he was born in hospital, my mother visited me and she carried him, she kissed him, and she said to her, well, this boy looks like he's going to be extremely naughty and he's going to give you hell. And the mother said to me, I believed that. I actually believed what my mother said. And all through the young boy's life, I always said those words to him. She would always say to him, well, I knew you're going to give me hell. And those words became a reality. Why? Because this young man believed those words. Well, I wonder what are the words that were spoken over you since a very young age, because these words construct your personality and it's set in concrete, and as a result, they change you. So what we need to do is locate the problem, but go back and find those words and break those words. So how do we actually do that? Well, we need to know that thoughts reflect the emotions of the speaker. So if someone comes and says to you, I hate you, why would they say that? Because on the inside, there is a feeling of hate. On the other side, if someone says, I really love you. Well, why did they say that? Because they love you. So the words we say, they spring from the heart and they reflect the way we feel about people. So to change our words, we need to change our thoughts. We need to change our feelings towards this person before we can even change our words. So what we need to do is 4 simple steps. Number 1, think before you speak. It doesn't take long, but it will do you a great improvement in just the way you speak. So think about it. Just take a few seconds to just say, well, what am I about to tell this person? And how's that going to build them? Is it going to build them or is it going to break them down? Is it going to build them up or is it going to destroy them? Is it going to make them think better of themselves or it's not? Based on that, you need to take your words back. So for example, I could tell someone, you're so fat. Or I can say, I think you're struggling with your weight. Well, I sort of said the same thing, but in a much nicer way. But that will happen when I think about it and say, well, instead of saying it this way, why won't I say it in another way? And that's when we come to number 2, to choose your words. It is so important to be very particular with the words that you say, because the whole point is that you want to bring life to people. You want to build people, especially when it comes to family members, especially when it comes to people that are in your circle. You really want to build people up. And the thing is, you build them up, they'll build you up. It's as simple as that. So you got to be very particular and very choicey with the words that you say. Number 3, whatever you say it in love. I love these quotes. Be careful with your words. Once they are said, they can only be forgiven, not forgotten. Whatever you say stays forever. People will remember. Years and years will pass. Someone said this to me once. When you meet someone, it really doesn't matter how they make you feel. It's what they say that is very important. What they say is extremely important. This is another quote. Words are free. It is how you use them that may cost you. They don't cost you anything, but the way you say them can cost you your life. And that's why you need to be extremely careful with these words. This is another quote. Be careful what you say. You can say something hurtful in seconds, but 10 years later, the words are still there. And that's because words hurt. They cause a lot of pain. Number 4, practice loving words. So ground yourself in love. When you speak a negative word to someone, it's because there is fear. It could be because there is insecurity. But when you ground yourself in love, and how do you do that? You know who you are. When you know who you are grounded in love. It becomes who you are. You can then give love. You cannot give those words unless you have them. You cannot give something that you do not have. But when you've got it, you then give it. And so it's so important in this last step to focus on yourself and come back and say, why am I saying what I'm saying? What is the root cause behind that? Is it jealousy? Am I jealous of this person? Am I intimidated by this person? Is there insecurity? What is it that I've got to deal with? And once I pluck that root, what will tend to happen is I will replace that with love. And then my words will be built on love. So I become love. And if I become love, I cannot offer anything other than love. My words will build. People will love being around me. Why? Because they just feel better. Because they feel that I do not condemn them. In actual fact, I will build them up. I really hope this episode was a blessing, where you go back and really examine those words that you're saying to people and examine the words that were said about you. Find out if those words were said and break them. You actually have the ability to break them and say, I am not going to let these words determine who I am. I'm going to change who I am so that I could live life in complete freedom. Thank you for listening. I hope this video was a blessing. Be blessed.